Penguin Random House Audio presents Start With Why, 15th Anniversary Edition. How Great Leaders Inspire Everyone to Take Action. Read by the author, Simon Sinek.
For Liv and Jake, may you grow up in a world that starts with why. There are leaders and there are those who lead. Leaders hold a position of power or influence. Those who lead inspire us. Whether individuals or organizations, we follow those who lead not because we have to, but because we want to. We follow those who lead not for them, but for ourselves. This is a book for those who want to inspire others and for those who want to find someone to inspire them. Foreword. The seed of a movement. We live in a world in desperate need of inspiration. For multiple reasons, including the rise of the internet and our ability to measure every click, swipe, like, or purchase, we have become metric, ROI, and short-term obsessed. And it comes at a cost. The cost of trust, joy, and the feeling that our work can offer us the chance to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. The good news is, we can reverse this trend if we can learn to start with why. The concept of why came to me at a time in my life when I needed it most. I had fallen out of love with my work and found myself in a very dark place. There was nothing wrong with the quality of my work or my job per se. It was the enjoyment I had for the work that I had lost. By all superficial measurements, I should have been happy. I made a good living. I worked with great clients. The problem was I didn't feel connected to the work anymore. I was no longer fulfilled by it, and I needed to find a way to rekindle my passion. Perhaps it was good luck that I studied cultural anthropology at college and was mildly obsessed with human behavior, especially in urban Western culture. Combined with the pressure I felt having lost my passion for my work, I was able to articulate the concept of why and the golden circle as a way to solve my own problem. And the result was profound. In addition to restoring my passion to a level I had never felt before, the discovery of why also completely changed my view of the world. It was such a simple, powerful, and actionable idea that I immediately shared it with my friends. That's what we do when we find something magical. We share it. If we read a great book or see a great movie, we tell our friends and family to read it or watch it too. We want to share our experiences with people we care about, and the people with whom I shared my idea did exactly the same thing. My friends invited me to share the concept of the why with their friends and the people they cared about. I would stand in someone's living room and tell people about the why. I even helped a few of them find their why for $100 on the side. Those living room talks and my obsession with talking about the idea to whoever would listen led to more invitations to speak, and the result was nothing short of inspiring. Those who embraced this idea of why found renewed love for their jobs and supercharged their businesses and their careers. Some even started their own businesses as a result of having this new-found focus. As you will hear about in this book, learning to both start with why and apply the law of diffusion of innovations is how ideas spread and social movements are built. What I did next was an experiment. I applied both these ideas to prove that you didn't need big marketing budgets or huge funding to spread an idea or build a business. And it worked. Better than expected. My message spread, and not by any traditional channels. It spread by word of mouth, in a time before mass social media. People who believed what I believed shared the idea with people they liked and cared about, and stranger things started to happen. It wasn't a book agent, but someone else who introduced me to my publisher at Penguin Random House, a publisher who then offered me the opportunity to write this very book. There was no application process. It was someone else who introduced me to the organizers of TEDx Puget Sound, where I got to give a TEDx talk that would go on to become the second most watched TED Talk on TED.com. And it is because I learned how to start with why that I am now reading to you a new foreword for the 15th anniversary edition of Start With Why. In many ways, the world we live in is now quite different from the one when I first wrote Start With Why. The global business environment has changed dramatically. Happily, the concept of seeking purpose in our careers, with our teams and at our companies is now a familiar one. Purpose-driven startups and B Corps are no longer revolutionary. They have become business as usual. Purpose at work is now firmly on the map. As the world continues to change at an increasingly rapid rate, it is more important than ever for companies and individuals to focus on their why and use it to guide their decision-making in a complex and distracting world. As we face some of the greatest challenges we have ever faced, we are also in desperate need for better leaders. Leaders who inspire us. Over the past few decades, there has been a steady loss of idealism in the world. Unlike John F. Kennedy or Ronald Reagan, our leaders no longer speak of world peace or peace on earth as a driving motivation. In fact, even hearing those words now sounds a little corny or cheesy. But it is idealism, the ability to start with why, that moves us to invent, explore, and advance the world forward, and feel tremendous inspiration and fulfillment along that journey. I am so proud and humbled by the impact this work has had in the world, and more importantly, in people's lives. We decided to publish this 15th anniversary edition to mark the movement that we are a part of, you and me. While I've revised the book in simple ways, updated some of the examples, and tweaked some of the stories to bring them up to date, the core message and lessons of the book remain the same. If you are coming to Start With Why for the first time, welcome. I hope it will challenge you to view how the world works through a new lens. If you are revisiting the book for a second or third time, welcome back, and thank you for being a part of this movement to inspire those around us. The more organizations and people there are who learn to start with why, the more people there will be who wake up feeling inspired, feeling safe wherever they are, and feeling fulfilled by the work that they do. And that's about the best reason I can think of to continue sharing this idea. Introduction. Why start with why? This book is about a naturally occurring pattern, a way of thinking, acting, and communicating that gives some leaders the ability to inspire those around them. Although those natural-born leaders may have come into the world with a predisposition to inspire, the ability is not reserved for them exclusively. We can all learn this pattern. With a little discipline, any leader or organization can inspire others, both inside and outside their organization, to help advance their ideas and their vision. We can all learn to lead. The goal of this book is not simply to try to fix the things that aren't working. Rather, I wrote this book as a guide to focus on and amplify the things that do work. I do not aim to upset the solutions offered by others. Most of the answers we get, when based on sound evidence, are perfectly valid. However, if we're starting with the wrong questions, if we don't understand the cause, then even the right answers will always steer us wrong eventually. The truth, you see, is always revealed, eventually. The stories that follow are of those individuals and organizations that embody this pattern. They are the ones that start with why. Example 1. The goal was ambitious. Public interest was high. Experts were eager to contribute, and money was readily available. Armed with every ingredient for success, Samuel Pierpont Langley set out in the late 1800s to be the first man to pilot an airplane. Highly regarded, he was a senior officer at the Smithsonian Institution and a mathematics professor who had also worked at Harvard University. His friends included some of the most powerful men in government and business, including Andrew Carnegie and Alexander Graham Bell. Langley was given a $50,000 grant from the War Department to fund his project, a tremendous amount of money for the time. He pulled together the best minds of the day, a veritable dream team of talent and know-how. Langley and his team used the finest materials, and the press followed him everywhere. People all over the country were riveted to the story, waiting.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?